Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the first video of Learn SolidWorks tutorial by Just Mason. My name is Mason and I'm a mechanical engineering student in Manchester, and I'll be providing you with assistance regarding what is SolidWorks, how to use it, and also how to fully benefit from it. In part 1 of the series SolidWorks Introduction, I'll be giving you a background information about CAD in general, in addition to discussing the basics of SolidWorks software interface. By the end of this video, you'll have the answers to those three main questions. What is CAD, also known as computer-aided design? What are the advantages of SolidWorks? And as well as getting familiar with the SolidWorks basic software interface. So, welcome to Learn SolidWorks Series with Just Mason. I hope it's going to be both fun and beneficial. Coming up. Okay guys, welcome back. So let's begin. First of all, we're going to talk about what is CAD. So CAD is simply an acronym for the term computer aided design, as I discussed earlier. But what does CAD mean in technical terms? So CAD, which is computer aided design, is the use of computers to aid in the creation of modification, analysis, or optimization of a design. CAD software is used to increase the productivity of the designer, improve the quality of the design, improve communications through documentations, and to create a database for manufacturing. SolidWorks is not the only software that implements CADing. So for CAD, there are numerous CAD softwares, some of which are AutoCAD, SolidWorks, which is one of them, Autodesk Inventor, and also CATIA, plus many more depending on the industry these softwares are used for. Some comes very simple with limited features and commands, and some of them comes very expert, depends on which industry they are needed for. So in this series we'll be concentrating on SolidWorks only and trying to get a deep understanding of this software's functionality. So what are the benefits of using CAD software such as SolidWorks? Well, basically nearly 200,000 companies and more than 2 million users have SolidWorks. SolidWorks have provided designers and engineers with continually expanding a range of features, functions, and capabilities that enable them to bring their inspirations to life. SolidWorks naturally is an easy-to-use CAD software and even easier to learn. So although this software is used by professionals all around the world, you don't require any certifications to be able to use SolidWorks correctly or for your own purpose. SolidWorks is very forthcoming, and also it features a lot of very useful commands which are also simple to utilize as well. So without any further ado, let's begin. So when you open SolidWorks, I'm actually operating on SolidWorks 2019. We've got the SolidWorks 2020 as well, but I'm working on 2019, and it has to be mainly, it'll be all the same for most of the versions. Some of these updates are just for bugs and as well as improving commands. So once you open the application, you'll have this software open up, and if you want to start, you just click File, and there's New, Open, and these are all the projects you have done, all the projects you have done. So if you're new, you won't find any of these. So click New. When you click New, there's New Solid Documents. So there's three options you're going to choose from. There is Part, there is Assembly, and there is Drawing. So what does each one of them mean? So first of all, a part is anything you create. It can be any object, any 3D representation of a single design component, as it says below here. And it is completely anything you want to design. You just design it in part. An assembly is when you design a couple of parts, like 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, and you want to of a big machine, and you want to just assemble them all together to create a big process or a big manufacturing machine, whatever. So you just go to assembly, and you're gonna upload all the parts you have created, and you need to save the parts before opening assembly, and then you just assemble them. And finally, drawing is just a 2D engineering drawing, typically of a part or assembly. It's the kind that explains to engineers how is your part designed or how is it constructed and what are the dimensions. It's just a 2D drawing that you can print out and give it to someone to just further explain it or clarify your part. So for us, for a beginner, you would start with part simply, press OK, and what it will do is it's going to generate the interface for the part along with the commands and the features. Okay, so once it's started, you're gonna view this. You're gonna get this view on your screen, and it's gonna look very complex at the beginning. There's a lot of commands over here. There's a lot of buttons. There's a lot of things, but we'll just take it a step at a time. So this is the main interface, and this is pretty much everything you're gonna need and are gonna use to design and evaluate your parts. So there's the menu bar over here. It has the files where you can save, create new, open drawings, pretty much the basic stuff. You've got edit, undos, and copying and pasting. You've got view, insert, tool, simulations, window, and help. These are all basics, and some of these commands are actually on the command manager over here. So this is called the menu bar, if you want to refer that to anyone. You've got here the SolidWorks Search command. So for a beginner, and a person who doesn't know where each command is in the interface, he's gonna type the name of the command, and even if he doesn't know the type of the commands, he's gonna just type in what he wants to do for this specific part, and then this search knowledge base is gonna generate multiple answers for him so he can choose which one is more suitable. And when you choose one, it's going to open randomly without you doing anything else. And it's also going to provide some help or tip instructions so that you can further on clarify it. Okay, so next is the command manager. So in the command managers, you are gonna find all the commands you're gonna need to use for your specific parts. And this is not all the command managers, so this is the command manager for each configuration. So for the features configuration, these are all the commands. There's sketch configurations, sheet metal configurations, evaluate, and some SolidWorks add-ins. So there's simulations if you want to perform any simulations, stress simulation, analysis simulations on your part. This is where you pop in the add-on, and there it is, your new study. And then you've got flow simulations as well. You can press that, and then a configuration manager is going to open here, and you're going to select that, and then and then there's going to be a set of commands that you can actually use to perform this type of study. You've got MPD, analysis and preparations. These two are not widely used for beginners or people who are trying to design basic stuff, but they are present for like advanced projects and stuff like that. So so let's move on. Next is the well for me is the one of the important user interfaces, which is the feature tree over here, feature manager tree. This is where you can find everything from there's history, sensors, annotations, materials, and these are the three main planes that you use to draw your 2D sketch, and then you export that into a 3D sketch. So these are the main planes. You need to choose these planes before you sketch anything on. You've got origin and so anything you draw or construct in this graphics area is gonna be recorded in this tree manager, which you can further add on, separate, manage together, so it can be neat and you can operate which part exactly. So if you draw a complex project and you want to break it down into planes, into objects, and into figures, and you want to know, and you made and you made a change, or you want to do a change to one of these, you're gonna have to go to the Future Manager design tree, and you're gonna find the specific part from these folders, and then you're gonna change them easily. and it's not going to affect everything, and it's not going to be very hard. And these are also they also can be renamed, so you can rename them depending on the name that reflects on the part. You've got the heads up view toolbar, so we've got section view. These are the most used one. You've got zoom to fit, zoom to area. Section view displays a cutaway of a part or assembly using one or more cross-section planes. So when you press on section view, when you've got a part, you're going to choose at which plane you want to cut your part to get a section view. This is mostly used for the drawing. You know, the first, when you just choose part assembly and drawing, people use that for drawings more than parts. When they want to see or want to show other engineers, designers, or other people who's going to see the design structure he's going to do, and wants to show detailed instructions of what's inside there, so they use the section view. And you've got view orientations, which comes in a little box, so your part is going to be inside this cube, and these are all the view orientations for this part you're drawing inside. And it's going to be it's very flexible, so there's a lot of views for that, and you can also enable that by just clicking the space bar, and this will open it also as well. You've got this option as well, which provides your drawing with a very sophisticated, from a very simple to a very sophisticated view. So from a wireframe over to a shaded with edges, so it gives your picture lines and it gives it definition, so it can be easily seen. And this is also other options that you can use from the sketch and sheet metals, but it's here for accessibility. Some people like to use over here, and yeah, so they prefer parts that are over here more than over there. It's like when you get used to the software and application and you work countlessly. I mean, your job, you're a designer, you're an engineer, and you are required to use this software on a daily basis. People often prefer shortcuts such as the spacebar thing in order to save time, because these tips are very helpful as you go on. So this is a very basic overview of the user interface. There's nothing much you're gonna need that I haven't mentioned. Everything is within this area or within the scope that I provided. And just for a simple demonstration of how to use it. So first things first, you need to change it. You need to choose a plane from the feature manager design tree. You need to choose a plane you want to sketch on. I'm gonna choose a front plane. Right click on that, and then there's sketch button, or you can actually just press on it, go to sketch, and then sketch on it. Once you press sketch, it opens a lot of commands that were turned off, like this one were turned off. All these were turned off because the sketch command wasn't open. So after you choose a plane and then you click sketch, there's a plane created here, or like a layer that is created, that will save anything you draw in this square, not also in this square, in just in this graphics area. So this square can actually can be shown, or it can't be shown. It depends on preferences, to be fair. If you want this box to be there, if you don't want it to be there, so we can just show it. Right click on the front plane and we can show the front plane box. From here there's a lot of shapes that you can use and would use. So for just demonstration, we're going to press on the circle. It's going to open the circle command, and there's a pencil. As you can see in the middle, there's a pencil with a circle shape on it. That indicates that you are sketching a circle shape. So hovering on to the middle and then just left clicking the mouse and just dragging it all over. Well, this preferences doesn't depend. It says the measurement is mentioned above, but you don't have to measure it like while stretching and relaxing it. You can just draw the circle as it is and just leave it. Stop clicking on the mouse, and then when you sketch it, you can go over here to smart dimensions, which is a smart way, as I can say, a smart way to dimension the circle and give it like value and dimensions and numbers. So when you press on the circle, automatically it knows it is a diameter or radius. So this smart dimension changes, or its attributes changes depending on the figure that is drawn. So if it's a square, it's not going to give me a radius. So as you can see here, there's beside the number 159, 159, there's a small circle with a line separating. This means it is a diameter. So it is a smart way to dimension stuff. So as you can go here, 159. I don't know, let's go 50, and it's going to dimension that. So once it's dimensioned, there's a very important thing you need to know, that once you dimension a figure, you need to check that it is fully defined, and that is fully defined. There's no any attributes that's still underdefined and haven't been given a certain dimension, because this is very, very helpful when you move on to complex shapes and you forgot to define a certain shape. This is not going to be very helpful, and it's going to create some complications. So just a heads up note. So after you create the shape, as you can see, if you just switch it around, zoomed in and zoomed out with the cursors of your mouse, you can see the shape as a 2D. But for us, we are using this software mainly to design stuff in 3D, importing it to 3D. So after you sketch, you go to features, the features configuration, and then you're gonna go to extrude boss base. So this extruding commands just extrudes 2D sketches into 3D sketches. So when you press extrude, you're gonna see a yellow shadow has appeared from the circle from the original sketch, and extrudes the base to a certain length or height, and you can change this length depending on this number. So here it's extruded 10 millimeters. You can go for, I don't know, 20, and then press enter, and you're gonna see a view of that. So if you're happy with 20, you just press OK, and yeah, there it is. So you can just hide display. There's your 3D shape part, and yeah, that's pretty much how you design a part. And this is the overall structure or user interface of SolidWorks. SolidWorks is very, very easy. It may appear complex at first, but as you progress and as you practice, you're gonna see that it is very, very forthcoming and a very easy application to use, and it can provide you with a lot of opportunities and possibilities. It is very flexible. It comes and goes with your imagination, and it's a very, very, very widely considered application. So yeah, so after you finish the part, you can go file, save this part, and then you can choose a place. I'm gonna go desktop and then save that. And yeah, that concludes our part 1 video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it's the first video, the first series, but at first things are a bit tension and it's a bit very difficult. But as we progress and as we explain, and throughout the series, I'm going to present you with a lot of examples and a lot of samples, as well as constant help and illustration of how to use and how to provide that. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you in the next part.